Hello, good morning. It's Wednesday the 9th. I'm FX Blue and this is the market brief. So who knew Boris Johnson could be a rally driver? With a cheeky little Scandinavian flick, he delivered yet another silky little U-turn. This time bowing to pressure over the Russian oil supply. Boris had said that he was against stopping Russian oil imports due to no alternatives, so perhaps one of his aides opened an atlas and pointed out the Middle East, because yesterday he agreed to ban the purchase of Russian oil and gas by the end of the year. Bravo, Boris. What effect that will have on rising prices remains to be seen, but no doubt it will add to the inflationary issues that we're already seeing. Volodymyr Zelensky has been on. The president of Ukraine became the first foreign head of state to address Parliament yesterday. He reiterated his plea for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. And while this is unlikely to be agreed, as the West still fear escalating the hostilities, Zelensky's speech drew a standing ovation from a packed Parliament, which then quickly emptied as the agenda switched to issues of sexual violence on International Women's Day. Doesn't Parliament make you proud? Shell has been on, Shell Oil. They joined the long list of companies withdrawing from Russia at a time when huge oil company profits have triggered calls for a windfall tax to potentially help offset the tax being applied at the pumps. This is one of the measures that Sunak is considering in his spring statement, which is due on March 23rd, as he is facing increased pressure to cut fuel taxes. That will come a week after the next MPC meeting, where we may still see a third consecutive rate hike, especially if inflation remains on course to reach 7.5% as early as next month. But meanwhile, in the market, sterling slipped below 131 against the dollar. We bottomed out at 130.80 as safe haven trading continues to drive the dollar higher. The euro remains on the back foot, and despite a little profit taking, we still open around the 120 mark against a single currency this morning. So over in the US, Biden stepped up and showed Boris how it should be done. He banned all the imports of Russian oil and gas with immediate effect. While this shows solidarity with the UK and the EU, it won't really expose them to any domestic shortages, as the US only gets about 8% of its oil from Russia. So it'll also have limited effect on the Russian economy, but every little helps. However, it will no doubt help increase the oil price. Brent crude is currently trading over $130 a barrel and has a fair way to go, no doubt. So for Biden, he faces some tough decisions to back up this ban. Don't forget, he recently called Saudi Arabia a pariah state, and it's been reported that leaders of Saudi and the UAE have both declined requests for talks with Biden. It's also been reported that Biden would like to reinstate talks with Iran. Trump ended that treaty, but Biden will want to get his own clarity over their nuclear intentions if Middle East exports are to be bolstered by an increased Iranian supply. Remember though, Russia is also party to those treaty negotiations, and they are doing everything they can to ensure there is no progress made. In the market, the recent dollar drive paused for breath yesterday, or paused for profits at least. The dollar index retreated from its recent highs, pulling back to 98.70, and euro dollar managed to creep back over the 109 mark. We opened this morning around 109.15. That's it from me. Have a great day. Join me again tomorrow.
If you do not have a clue, then just tweet through and ask FX Blue.